Good morning. What's going down? How you doing today? I'm back. Y'all, I haven't done as many live videos the last few weeks because I've been attending to all kinds of shit in my life that just I wanted to give my full effort, my full heart, my full energy to. So my volunteer work with Mankind Projects, my volunteer work with Surge, showing up for Justice DC. There's stuff happening in my family, my relationships changing in beautiful ways. So been a little absent, but I'm back because I want to teach a little something today. I want to teach something today that I'm passionate about and that I care about. So if you're with me and you're watching, say hi and tell me about your morning. Like, what's going on for me? I finally got a bike again. I'm going to tell you all about that. It's been 3.5 weeks off the bike, and I finally got a new bike. So I went for a bike ride in the misty morning in the woods, in Rock Creek Park. It was so beautiful. And then I had a really early morning session. I started to take clients at 8 a.m. now because of coronavirus. It's like, why not? And I had a badass second session with a client who just signed up for a year. So I'm lit up. I'm lit up. We're working on his energy management, his morning routine. We're working on his mindset around self-care and around creating boundaries for his business and for his family and to model for his sons. Like, this shit lights me up. But anyway, I want to hear from you. If you're watching, what's lighting you up this morning? What has you feeling alive and impassioned and excited? Whether it's challenges or whether it's amazing things happening in your life, I want you to let me know what's lighting you up this morning. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I want to know you're watching. So, what I'm going to do here is I see a few people are watching. Oh, I see a few just joined. I can't see who for whatever reason, but hey, I'm lit up this morning. I'm excited. I want to know. Drop a comment to let me know what's lighting you up this morning, what's getting you excited, what's getting you enlivened, what's getting you pumped. So what I'm here to talk about today, and I'm going to switch screens here so I can see my notes. What I'm here to talk about today is why asking for what you want is so goddamn hard, and how the universe gifted me the perfect bike, right? So literally, this is something that was a beautiful moment in my life, and it reminds me of a time when I really struggled to understand how to ask for what I want. When I didn't know what it meant, when I didn't know what it looked like, when I thought I shouldn't really even have to, per se. So, the reality is, we are often thinking we walk this world imposing on others. We often walk this world thinking that others are out for themselves. We're in a world where we're being conditioned to be extremely individualistic, especially if you're raised in Western culture, especially in white culture or in middle class or affluent culture. We've been conditioned to be extraordinarily individualistic. The science behind it shows that Americans have been conditioned to be the most individualistic in the world. So what that means is that we've been taught that we should always take care of ourselves, we should always be reliant on ourselves, and that we shouldn't ask for what we want. And that, in fact, sometimes other people should anticipate what we want because we're supposed to anticipate what other people want. It's really a very damaging narrative, and it's conditioned us to think that people aren't here to help. But my reality, my world, the world that I've lived in, and the world that I see, is that people are dying to help each other. We are hardwired to give and receive support, love, guidance, nourishment, connection. But we're often either afraid to ask for what we want, or we just think we shouldn't have to. Some of us have been conditioned to believe that we don't deserve anything in life and that we have to walk on eggshells and we have to be super polite and we have to be non-imposing, and that if we just play the nice guy or the nice girl, then people should give us what we want. While some of us have been conditioned to feel that we're entitled to get exactly what we want when we want it. We should never have to ask, and people should anticipate our needs, and that we should just be given the raise. We should just be, given the opportunity to get laid. We should just be given all the things that we want in the world. That people should just be automatically courteous and nice and easygoing with us and just provide us what we want. Now, we don't think that consciously, but we act that way. We show up as entitled to what we want. So we think we don't have to work for it at all or ask for it or create connection that creates value for such a thing. And if you're watching, whether you're live on the replay and that's you, or it's been you in the past, drop me in the comments. I will drop me in the comments because fucking A, I've spent years either both feeling entitled to what I want and being afraid to ask and thinking that people should give it to me. But one of the things that really transformed my life is when I took on this principle called ask for what you want, knowing you may not get it. Good morning, Larry. How you doing, brother? So you've heard this before, Larry. Ask for what you want, knowing you may not get it. A lot of people know the concept, but a lot of people don't know the mindset or the skill set to empower it. So I want to tell you a little story. Here. So as some of you know, those of y'all who watch my stuff, follow me, about 3.5 weeks ago, my bike was stolen. Maybe it was 4 weeks ago? I don't know. 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. It feels like a lifetime. My bike was stolen from my own backyard. And I went through this crazy arc of emotions in a very quick period of time. And I'm very good at this point at managing the arc of emotions from denial to anger to sadness to feeling violated to being frustrated with the MPD because they won't even take my report online over the phone and have to do their online system, and it's a mess and it's a deal with insurance. I went within hours from all of that fear and anger and sadness and frustration to acceptance and to relaxing into what is and to realizing, okay, well, I just have to get a new bike. And I don't need to be angry or upset. People out there in the world, some people are in need. And somebody needed this bike or the money to provide them more than I did. But that's not the point. The point is I didn't have a bike. And then a day later, I was on a camping trip, and as some of you know, I had a hammock accident, and an 8-foot tall, 6-inch diameter wooden beam fell on my head. I have a skull fracture in 2 places. I actually can still feel the bump. And I've been dealing with concussion symptoms, but I'm mostly feeling better. But it was a double whammy. Bike got stolen, got knocked out, and had a serious head injury. So I'm at the point where I've been recovering, and I've been slowly working myself back up to exercise the way I want to. And I'm feeling the call, like I need a bike. I need to get back on the bike, because over the last year, cycling has become a way that I can engage my body and trust my body more and move my body in a fun, liberating way. It's become my favorite form of commute. I recently got a little Bluetooth Bose speaker to strap on it, and now I'm cruising with my jams, with my Fish, with my Jerry Garcia band, with my 90s hip hop, whatever's lighting me up, make me feel good. I'm cruising with it, and I'm enjoying nature because I'm right by the park, and there's beautiful roads that are closed because of coronavirus, so that we as DC residents have access to this. And it's been this liberating experience. And I'm ready. Like, I'm dying to get a bike back. And I want to upgrade. But here's the deal. Because of COVID, and because more people are getting outside, and because less people are taking public transportation, it's impossible to find a bike right now. I go within a matter of days from figuring out what kind of bike that I want, realizing I want to make a major upgrade, to doing hours and hours of research on the style and the size and the fit and the feel. What's up, Petra? I see you. So anyway, and I see you too, Larry. I'll get back to your comments. So anyway, I'm just so psyched about getting a bike, and I'm so ready for a bike, and I need it. It's an important part of my relationship because my partner is an avid cyclist, and we've fallen in love together on bikes, and she's helped me fall in love with bikes, and we start fantasizing about bike touring together if I get the right gravel touring bike, and we started fantasizing about bike packing together, and it's this like romantic fantasy. And even just taking a bike ride with her again after 3.5 or 4 weeks would just be so beautiful and rich for both of us, and for my own self, and for our relationship, for our love, and for my life. And I've been dealing with a lot of stress and struggle recently. There's been huge burdens that I've put upon my own shoulders in leadership, both in my family, in my relationship, in my volunteer work, and I've been heavy. I've needed something to lighten me up. I've needed a win the past few weeks. It's been hard. I'm going to be honest, it's been hard. So I get to this place where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to spend twice as much as I wanted to on a bike. Like, I'm going to spend $1,000. I'm going to spend $1,500. Who knows, maybe more. And then I decide which bike I want. Go to the bike store. They don't have it in stock because no bikes are available. In fact, the bike store we went to, they usually sell 30 or 40 bikes a month. They sold 440 in April, I think, April or May. And essentially, it's really hard to get any bikes under the top-notch bikes. I'm not a cyclist at the point where I'm ready to spend $3, $4, $5 on a bike. So I get excited about a bike. I start fantasizing. I figure out that I'm ready for an upgrade. I sell myself up. I go and I test drive some nice steel gravel bikes, and I'm in love. And I'm ready for the bike. So I go back into the shop after I test drive, and we're talking to the owner because my partner knows the owner because she's so lovable that everyone in the bike area around here knows her and loves her. And he's telling me, like, yeah, here's the deal. I mean, like, I can order you this bike or that bike, and they're all up in the $3,000-$4,000 range, and I'm just not there yet as a cyclist, right? It's like, it doesn't make sense financially for me at the moment. I'm upgrading a bunch of tech for work. I'm about to move in with Natalie, and I want to set up my office. There'll be moving costs. It's just like, now it's not the time for a $4,000 bike. So I very quickly realized, oh my gosh, I might not be able to get a bike for a long time. New bikes might not be available even to the summer. And I'm like devastated. So I'm thinking, what do I do? Do I find just like a cheap used bike? It's this whole saga, this whole story. So meanwhile, I decide, like I said, I want an adventure bike. I want a gravel adventure bike. I want steel frame, because you know what? I want steel. I want it to last forever. And Natalie is now commuting on her steel frame gravel bike, and so there's this connection there. And I know what I want, but I can't even order the bike that I want. And so I'm kind of like devastated. And so in 24 hours, I'm getting excited. I know what I want. I talk myself up. I'm realizing I can't get it. I'm devastated. I start really quickly researching bikes and parts and all these things, and I'm educating myself, and I'm learning, and I'm tracking down used bikes left and right, and they're selling so quickly that I can't get them. This is all in a matter of days. And I'm messaging with people who are selling used bikes and all this stuff, and I'm like, gosh, none of them have just the right bike. So I'm really confused and I'm frustrated. It's taking up a lot of my energy, but I know I want a bike. And so I see a friend on Facebook who he's asking about podcasting, and I hit him up with a message because I'm just, I know plenty of podcasters. I can connect him. And then it hits me, wait, this is a dude I know from high school. He and his family actually have owned bike shops for many years. I know that the hardware store and the bike shop that they had been owning recently, it closed last fall. It was very sad. But he's still big in the bike industry, and I know he's an avid cyclist. And he's messaged me over and over again, like, dude, when are you going to come ride with me? Are you ready for a road bike? Let's get you kitted up. Like, he's been a supporter. So I think to myself, well, I got to ask him if he knows somebody. I said, but dude, do you know a friend or anyone in the cycling world that's selling bikes right now? I tell him my size. I tell him what I'm looking for. And you know what he says? He says, actually, I custom built a bike last year for myself. I've almost never used it. I have 100 miles on it, maybe. And in fact, I was not going to sell it. I wasn't even dreaming of selling it. But he said that I'm injured, and I probably won't get to ride this bike the way I want to for 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 months. So I would sell it to you. What's your price range? I told him the top of my price range. Now, he is in the bike industry, so he got deals, but at the end of the day, he built out a bike that's probably a $25, $26, $27, $2,800, maybe a $3,000 bike, more than double my budget. I tell him my budget, I tell him my top budget, and he goes, dude, I'm really like, I'm at cost here, but I would sell it to you. I want you to have the bike that you want. So I go and I check it out yesterday, and I pick it up, and it's gorgeous, and it's better than anything I would have bought on my own. And it fits my needs perfectly, and it's more comfortable than the other bikes I was test driving. So because I was willing to ask for what I wanted in a clear and clean way, because I was willing to ask for help, because I was willing to ask for support, this generous, thoughtful, amazing dude, and what I consider to be the universe, gifted me with a bike that was better than I could have imagined. And so within a 3-day period, I go from thinking like I need a bike, I don't want to spend a bunch of money, I'm willing to spend more money, I know the bike I want, I can't order the bike I want, holy shit, I might not be able to get a new bike for who knows when, fall or next year, what the heck am I going to do? To then having the perfect bike exactly at my budget, that's better than I could have imagined, landing in my lap. And this morning I took my first ride on it. It was misting and raining. I didn't care. I got out for 45 minutes. I worked my legs. I felt the breeze. I heard the birds. I saw the beautiful trees around me and the beautiful creek, the stream that goes through DC, Rock Creek Park. And I felt alive in a way I haven't in weeks. And the universe took care of me. The universe provided. And I know that's a cliche and it seems hyper spiritual, but it did. And it always does. And back in 2013, when I was separating from my ex-wife, and I was in the process of learning how to take care of my body, and I was in the process of learning how to dewire all of my anxiety and wire in new ways of thinking and seeing and being, I learned this principle called asking for what you want, knowing you may not get it. Which means we must learn the skills to ask for what we want consistently in a way that's not entitled, that's not needy, that's not passive aggressive, that's not manipulative or back channeling. Let's be clear and direct. And to do that, we're empowered to let go of attachment to the person saying yes or giving it to us, or the universe providing exactly what we need. For the universe to provide exactly what we need, for our loved ones, our partners, our kids, our bosses, to provide us what we want and need, we actually have to be emotionally not detached, but we have to make sure we're in a place where it doesn't harm us or hurt us personally or emotionally if they say no. We can't take it personally. You've been conditioned to think that you have to earn everything in life to deserve it. And just because you deserve doesn't mean that you don't have to work for something or try hard. But you've been conditioned to think that you have to work extra hard and you have to have merit to get what you want in this life. You might have been, if you're like me, if you look like me, if you're a white dude, especially in this world today, or there's lots of other people too, but a lot of us have been conditioned to feel entitled to whatever we want. It doesn't matter if you were conditioned to think that you don't deserve what you want and you have to work your ass off to earn it, or that you 100% are entitled to whatever you want. You're going to show up the same way. You're going to show up without the skill set or the mindset to effectively communicate what you want without seeming weak, without seeming needy, without seeming pushy, without seeming entitled. You're going to fracture relationships when you do ask, or you're going to fracture relationships because you don't speak up for your needs and for what you want. You've also been conditioned to hear no as a rejection or a personal insult, when in fact, when someone can cleanly tell you no, they're a trustable person who trusts that you can handle hearing that. So you have opportunity to reframe the concept of rejection. You have the opportunity to learn what no feels like in a healthy way. I only want to hang out these days with people that I know will tell me no in a clean, clear way. I do not want yes people, yes men, yes women, yes humans, yes non-binary people. I don't want them in my life because I want people to speak up for themselves, and I feel safer and more empowered and more connected when they do. And most of us, that's true, but we have to get to the point where we don't take no as a rejection. No isn't a rejection. No is just another person expressing their autonomy and personal authority and their willingness to have a boundary or to be honest with you. It's an act of trust. It's an act of love to hear no and to say no. So we've all done this. I've done this. I've been at times the guy who would ask for what I want in passive ways, or try and come up with schemes to not manipulate, but to make it sound like I'm not needy, or to make it sound like I'm not really asking. We all do this. We've been taught to do this. Don't shame or blame yourself for doing this. Or very often I've been afraid to ask for what I want. I was afraid to ask for the date. I was afraid to ask for the raise. I was afraid to ask for time off. I was afraid to ask my clients for a pay raise when I started working as a new coach, because frankly, I felt like there was some rule that I shouldn't ask for that. And at times I felt entitled, and I've expected people to just anticipate my needs. When have you been afraid to ask for what you want, or too stubborn to ask for what you want? Whether it be with getting help, whether it be around receiving love, whether it be around getting guidance or support or insight from someone that you care about. Or maybe it's something as simple as you're afraid to ask for something from a waiter Right? I know guys who they're like a VP at their company, but for whatever reason, they have some rule in their mind that they can't impose on a waiter to ask for them to take a meal back that wasn't hot. Or it's just, we have these weird incongruencies in these binds. When has it been you? We all do it in some way. So I want you to leave with this one small message. If you want healthy relationships, if you want a life that lights you the fuck up, if you want to feel empowered to ask for what you want without feeling entitled, if you want to be able to ask for what you want and get what you want in this life and live a life of abundance and live a life of love and take away a lot of the inner turmoil and have more peace, then you must learn the skill set and the mindset to ask for what you want without feeling weak or needy or entitled. Now I see 5 people are still watching, and so I'm going to come back to the screen. I'm going to come back to the screen. Oh, there's been some beautiful comments. Petra's up in here. Sanjay's up in here. Larry, what's up, Larry? Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Y'all have some amazing comments. What's up, James? How you doing, my man? This is a dude. Oh, man. James is a powerful dude. I wish everyone could ask for what they want with the power that James could do a freaking deadlift, man. So anyway, check this out, y'all. Those of you that are still watching, I appreciate you. I thank you. If you are somebody, if this resonates, if you're like, yo, I want better skills, that's for what I want, or I want to understand my partners, my friends who don't ask for what they want very clearly or cleanly, and hit me up with me in the comments. Hit me with me in the comments. I want to see. I'm going to hang out for like 2 or 3 more minutes. I'm starving though. I haven't even eaten breakfast today. I'm going to ask. Hit me up with me in the comments if you're personally someone who would like to understand this more. Now, what I really want for you to do, if you really want to learn how to ask for what you want without seeming weak, or without seeming needy, or without seeming entitled, if you want to learn the skill set and the mindset that helps you light the fuck up in your life, where you can ask for more ease, ask for what you want with more ease, less entitlement, more passion, without seeming weak and needy, I want you to throw the words ask in the comments right now, and I will personally message you a link to a podcast I did a couple years ago where I taught, I think it was the 3 paradoxes for asking for what you want and the 7 steps for asking for what you want. So put ask in the comments, whether you're watching this live or in the replay. I will personally message you with a link to a podcast interview I did a couple years ago, teaching the mindset and the skill set to ask for what you want without seeming weak and needy, without feeling entitled. That's what's up, Larry. I'll throw you a link to that without doubt. Anyone else, you want to learn how to ask for what you want, you want to learn how to do it without seeming weak or needy, you want to do it while owning your value, but without dominating others and feeling entitled, hit me up with ask in the comments. I'm going to get you that link. You're going to love it. I have a client that's been with me for 2.5 years. He still talks about that freaking podcast, man. So anyway, I love you. I'll see you soon. I'll be get back to the lives next week, much more consistently. Peace. Celebrate Juneteenth tomorrow. Show your solidarity. Support. Send money to Black Lives Matter organizers. Send money to healers and people of color. Be loud tomorrow about sharing with people that we need to be celebrating the day that slavery supposedly ended. I'm not going to get into that right now. I'll see you tomorrow with a little bit of something. What's up, Elliot? I'll definitely hit you up with this, man. But tomorrow's Juneteenth. Don't forget, I put a little something in my profile where you can text to a number, defend, so you can find out how you can engage throughout the day, throughout tomorrow, throughout the weekend, and Juneteenth. This shit's real. It's something that we need to put our energy. I believe it's time for us to put our energy into. I'm out. I'm going to go hit up the rest of my day, serve my clients, serve my community, create great content for y'all. Have a beautiful day. Remember, you have the capacity to create a life that lights you the fuck up. You have the capacity to build the skill sets and the mindset to become whoever you want, to change anything you want. Human beings are amazing. Our potential is wild. And the expansion of human experiences within you is the richest journey you can go on in your life. And each and every day, if you continue to choose love over fear, courage over comfort, creativity and creation over consumption and unconsciousness, and you stack enough of those decisions on top of each other day after day, you'll turn around months from now and have a completely beautiful and different life. The parts that you want to maintain, you'll maintain. The parts that you want to change and grow, you'll grow. You'll have more gratitude, love, peace, excitement, aliveness. Unbounded commitment is possible. Deeper love is possible. And grounded power is possible if you follow those 3 steps. Choose love, choose courage, choose creation. See you tomorrow. Join Drop the Armor Dojo. Peace.